What's up guys and welcome back to the YouTube video. So in today's video we are going to install macOS on a Windows PC. So why am I actually trying to do this? I'm actually trying to do this is because I don't have a way to use Mac. Actually I don't have enough money to buy a Mac, so I thought of installing a Mac on Windows. How about that? Also I just want to tell you guys that please actually try yourself this actually after watching this whole video, because I've been making a lot of mistakes in this video, so in which you must also have made. So if you want to install macOS on your computer, you have to watch this video entirely and understand where are the flaws and get started accordingly. I have actually made a pretty good guide on how to install macOS on a Windows PC. I've been trying to make it as short as possible, I promise. So without further ado, let's get started.
So guys, the tutorial is meant for the people who don't know anything of Mac OS or about ISO files or about virtual machines, on how to install a different operating system on the virtual machine, or irrespective of your operating system, or irrespective of your CPU architecture, whether it is Intel or AMD, you can install Mac OS on your PC and use it. Given that if you have a decent amount of resources to give the Mac OS to work, I have been placed the link in which I have downloaded the ISO file in the description. You can actually go ahead and search for ISO driver inside Google. You can just search for ISO driver. You can actually get inside the ISO driver and search for Mac OS and download your favorite Mac OS version from right over from here. So I have downloaded macOS Mojave from here, and I've been placed that ISO file on my directory. So from here I'm going to install macOS. So let's get started. So guys, first of all, search for virtual machine on your browser and click on Oracle VM VirtualBox and download the latest version of Oracle VM VirtualBox into your device. So click on Windows host and download the VirtualBox into your device. Check that if it's the latest version, it will be always the latest version. Now after installation, you will see a window like this. Click on Mac and select on Mac OS X, and click on the memory size. If you have like 8 GB or 12, I have 12 gigabytes, so I'll be allocating like 4 GB as the RAM. So if you have okay, the next things we have to do is that we have to actually install you have to allocate the memory, the storage space for macOS. So I'm going with 50 GB. You can actually provide at least 32 GB of storage. After that, going to settings, inside advanced, and we have to change some of the settings for this macOS to run on any Windows, I mean inside a virtual machine. So I'm going to the processor and allocate at least two of your processor of my four cores, and I am uh, allocate two. And after that, I'm unchecking the floppy from the motherboard section. After that, coming to the acceleration tab, we have to uncheck the enable nested paging that I'll be doing as we move on. So inside the display section, media memory is allocated at the maximum. What you have to actually allocate at the maximum. After that, coming back to storage, empty attachment has been removed. Empty attachment has been removed, and your Mac OS, I mean the disk installation disk drive has been chosen. If it doesn't show up here, you can click on add, and you can actually you can get the Mac OS installation file down in the link in the description. I have downloaded from like ISO driver, I think. You can get your own Mac OS version, and after all of that, click on start. So you can actually select macOS Mojave or whatever versions of macOS you prefer. It will be inside ISO driver. Actually, I don't trust any of these macOS ISO files. You can actually go with your own, your own risk. I don't actually prefer you to use this. So that's it. So after that, I found out that it's not showing nothing. So the thing is that you have to only only do in your own system after watching this video fully, because I am going through a lot of pain and struggle right now. So I cannot actually pull together every part of this video. So I'm showing the every possible errors that can occur while installation of the macOS on our virtual machine. So after that, click search for Mac Oracle VM VirtualBox inside, and actually find the target location of that program. Click on properties and it will show the execution, the execution folder of the Mac OS. Paste it right over there and remove the VirtualBox.exe from there, and don't forget the codes to be removed. And after that, type enter, and this is the main working folder of Mac OS. So now here is find something called VBoxManage. It is used to change the settings inside the virtual machine. So we don't need actually to find that, because we have CMD to execute the task. So I will be putting some commands down in the description. You have to get that in order for this to work. So type in CMD inside the folder location, and you'll get the terminal open. After that, go ahead and copy and paste all these commands into that terminal, and it will actually change the necessary settings in order to boot up a Mac. So especially if you're using an AMD CPU or a CPU other than Intel, then you have to use an extra command that I have provided down there. So this all commands actually override and tell the Mac OS that we are using a genuine Mac hardware. Come on, let get you installed. That's basically what it is telling the Mac OS. So let's go and copy and paste all the commands to this terminal, and you have to place your VM name in the Mac name that I have provided. So that's right. And moving forward, so at the end, I am using an AMD CPU, so I'm going to copy and paste this command, which basically tells the virtual machine that I'm using an Intel i7. So let's get installed. So we are going to copy and paste that command to inside the terminal, and no errors has been shown. So let me just go and minimize everything, close everything. Coming back to VirtualBox, click on start. So I'm again reminding you guys that please don't follow along with me. You have to actually boot up your Mac OS after doing all the things, all the errors that have been fixed. So you don't have to struggle this much. So now after booting up Mac OS, it is actually doing something. So let's see what it will do. But the thing is that I again ran into an error. So it's probably because of the nested paging. I have been not unchecked the nested paging feature inside the acceleration. So go inside the acceleration, uncheck the enable nested paging option, and click on OK, and we are ready to boot up the macOS. So until here it's really complicated. After that it will be really easy for the installation of macOS. So after that, click on install, and it is now doing something. Here we are, something is running, booting up something, some commands, code slash, something is jumping around. I don't know what the hell this is, but this is how the board screen looks like. Something's running around. So whenever the screen appears, I'll be putting it in like 16x. It's a really slow process, but I'll be pulling it together for you guys. I'm making it a bit faster. So go ahead inside the virtual machine and download the virtual machine extension pack. It's mainly because we have to actually integrate your CPU and your keyboard and mouse hardware with Mac OS, and also to actually change the screen resolution. So we have to install this for that to work. So we are going to install this. So after downloading, you have to hop back to your virtual machine control panel, click on file, click on file, and inside that you can see a option called preferences. Inside preferences you will see in extensions, and click on add, and it you can actually add the version, the extension pack right over there. Click on I agree, moving forward, and after that you will get a confirmation. Click on yes. So the thing is that I've been using a old version of virtual machine. That's why it's not installing right now. So I go back and downloaded the latest version of virtual machine and updated to the latest version. And after that went back to the the tools tab inside, where you can find the extension pack manager, and you can install the extension pack right over there. So you can click on extension pack install, and here we are. Click on I agree. Installing package. So here we have installed the Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack. Now we can actually start the macOS again. So I think you have to actually do till here before you power up your first VM, because I have done a lot of mistakes. So you can actually start powering on your macOS from here exactly. So you have to make all the changes that I have done till here, and after that you can actually power on your macOS. So after that, if and only if your keyboard and mouse is not working, you must actually enable the USB controller and click on USB 3.0 and add the mouse and keyboard. It's not actually mandatory, but if and only if your keyboard and a mouse is not working with the macOS. Not in this window, of course, not in this window. If you move forward in this window, if the keyboard and mouse is not working in this window, you have to add the keyboard and mouse explicitly in the 3.0 USB controller. So click on your language, and we are moving forward. So after that you will see a window like this, macOS utilities, and click on install macOS. Click on continue. So the copy of the macOS installed application has been damaged and can be used to install macOS. Sad news. So it is mainly because of an outdated / old version of macOS that I have been trying to install. So I have been reading this article on how to fix this. So you have to essentially change the date of the system to the date in which the version of Mac has been released. The day after which the macOS has been released. So I'll be making that understandable in a second. So you have to go ahead and open up your terminal of macOS here. So if you go to utilities and get the Mac terminal opened up here. So after that, after the terminal is opened up, it is a little bit laggy, but after I move forward, it will be optimized. So as you can see, so this is the terminal of Mac OS. So you can actually let me just make it a little bit bigger. And type in date, and it will show the current date, which is 2022 October 27, and the date and time is also shown. But the thing is that we have to change you have to change the date in which the day exactly after which your Mac OS version was released. So I'm not going with Big Air. My Mac OS version is Mojave, so I had to find the day in which it was released and change the date of the system to exactly the date in which it was released. So as you can see, I have already opened a tab when macOS Mojave was released, and I am going to change the date in which actually the macOS my Mojave version was released, and I am changing the date after the corresponding day in which the macOS was released. So the format will be date space month day hour the minute and the year in which the macOS was released. So after that, type enter and it will work. So as you can see, my Mojave was released on 2018 September 24 or 23 or something like that. I has changed to 25, and it will actually is a green flag. So after that, click on macOS Mojave and click on continue to move forward, and I clicked on I agree and I move forward. How many terms and conditions these guys have? So click on I agree and I move forward. So after that, I fell into another problem: macOS Mojave. Select the disk you want to install macOS. There is no disk to install macOS. There's nothing is showing. So I went back to disk utility, to the macOS utilities. Inside disk utility, I found out that currently the space that I allocated for the installation of macOS has been already occupied by some other, some other another thing. But the thing is that I'm going to actually erase and format it using the macOS format and format it for the installation of macOS. So I'm going to erase the hard disk media and clear that, erasing hard disk media and creating untitled partition. So here we are, it is currently formatted, and here we are ready to install macOS. So getting back to install macOS and do all the steps that we have already done, and we can see that disk is currently showing up there, and click select that and click on install. It will actually take some time for things to work, but after the installation it is not that laggy and all. So it is doing something again, something RAM disk execution, blah 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 things. So after that, this board screen will appears, and after the installation, this Mac logo will appear, and you can, the or normal board, the installation steps. Click select your country, select your, fill up the account details, etc. You have to, fill up and click select your country, India. Moving on, click select your keyboard. Not a problem. Continue because we have the extension pack to work for us. So click my computer, do not connect. I don't connect. Continue. Don't transfer any information. And again another terms and condition window. It is like fourth terms and condition window. So click create your account details, blah blah blah, fill your passwords, 1234, something like that. And hint, I don't please care that, just and continue again, things jumping around. So here we have successfully installed macOS. So the thing is that it's not on full screen mode. So in order to make it full screen mode, you have to actually install virtual machine guest additions inside the menu of the virtual machine. Inside devices, insert VirtualBox addition, which is not working. So in order for it to work, you have to actually you have to eject the install macOS current installation disk from the macOS and then install VirtualBox guest edition. So I don't know which file to run. You have to run VBoxDarwinAddition.package file. After some exploration, I have found out that. So we have to run the VBoxDarwinAddition.package and click on continue. You have to install that. It's all basic installation steps. You can just install. Then after that, there will be a security warning: system software from developer or committee was blocked from loading. Click on allow, and it will actually move forward on installing the guest additions onto this macOS. So it will actually take some time. So after that, I went back to displays. Inside the scaled setting, I found the resolution. No, I didn't found the resolution, the correct resolution, which is 1920 into 1080. I don't found the resolution. So I again shut down the macOS, and I found another article featuring on how to set the screen, I mean the screen resolution of the macOS in Stack Overflow. So actually I have already placed this code also, I mean this command also in the description. You can also paste this according to your own screen resolution. It may vary from mine and yours, but probably it will be 9020 into 1080. So you can actually paste this to specifically, you don't have to paste the first one, but if the first one worked for you, then you don't have to continue with the second two commands. So the same thing where we have actually placed the previous commands, paste the right over there, and after that start, and here we are, voila, we have actually installed Mac OS on our Windows PC, and it's full screen right now, and you can actually have every features that a Mac OS have. So I'm the calendar is calendar is currently popping up.
So guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys will help my channel out and help this poor person. So that's it. So have a nice time.